An app is one of the most significant forms of technology in having a 10x nonprofit experience. And it begins, the 10x app experience begins by being able to download and customize a free app that creates an ease, a 10 times greater ease of relationship in terms of both energy consumption, immediacy, personalization, a relationship with one's passion for giving and serving. It transcends the paradigm of sacrifice and me or other by beginning by measuring personal well-being. One of the frameworks of our hierarchy of needs is that we begin with seeking survival, security and survival, love and belonging, self-esteem, continue by developing our strengths and our gifts, and then being of service to others. And so as we integrate the development of personal well-being with the service of the larger community and species, we bring together two hierarchical values as opposed to keeping them polarized. So measuring personal well-being and then having a module where giving can be fun, where we can work towards building who we are as a human being and sharing that with the world. Part of that is tracking progress in the game, just clicking the tab, the game, and looking at the goal of personal fulfillment and happiness, of being carbon neutral, of making a difference in another person and in another family's life, in participating in local government, in a slow progression of expanding skills and resources, a fun game to be and become a 10x human being. In terms of accounting, the app can track the process making it friction-free, a way to receive money with no commissions, no credit card fees, etc., through direct deposit check, through PayPal, through Bitcoin cryptocurrency, through direct deposit, such that we can fund an account. And once that money is inside the banks of the nonprofit, can direct that money, can dance with that money, can loan that money, can donate that money, can invest that money, and then reinvest that money, etc., to see that our impact in the nonprofit sector to grow, while also seeing where it's going and being able to track and look at the balance sheet, which projects need money, how money is being spent, etc., and to participate in a very dynamic way. Now, one of the things that allows a nonprofit to do is to track which modules within an ever-expanding app, an open source blockchain-based app, where anyone can add a module as long as it meets the criteria of tying in with the other modules. And that when a module is added, it is vetted for its probability of creating well-being and then measured. How much well-being is created by this module, by this module? How much time does a user choose to spend on this module versus this other module? And in doing so, creating a space where anyone can contribute a module, I'm talking about some of them, that leads to greater well-being. And to see which ones create the most well-being for the user. Buy and invest with one click is a great module within the app to allow the thousands of people who develop expertise and share that expertise on the cheapest way to heal someone with cataracts, the best location to buy and supply someone with a blind dog for the a guide dog for the blind, the best way to buy a square meter of rainforest, etc. That within that category, and then subcategories, one can search in an Amazon type fashion and buy with one click. Creating and sharing relevant media and then upvoting that media based on its impact and well-being in a given area. So you're watching YouTube, you're watching Netflix, you're watching any of the various things that you watch, and you click capture. And one of the nice things is if you're viewing this media from within the capture app module itself of the app, you can just click capture, excerpt, etc. Why it's relevant to what aspect of well-being, submit it, and then anyone who views that post and upvotes it will prioritize that media to be consumed by more and more people interested in that aspect of contribution and well-being. Now, creating special media and mixes, etc., can take place in another form of this project, which is the ability to edit video using an online video platform. So in this area, any user can upload a relevant piece of media that they own the copyright of. They can upload a relevant piece that they own the copyright of and title it and add it to the information pool that might be useful for different documentaries or media projects. Anyone else can edit a portion of a project or a full project using that bit of copyright-free material made available by other members, using an online editing software such as WeVideo that allows people to edit and create using a very low bandwidth internet, low storage, downloaded, and actually create media projects to share with members and publish freely on YouTube and other locations, such that one can collaborate easily and virtually without even knowing the other members of your team. One person creates media and shares it, another person does a nice voiceover for that bit of media, another person does art and intersects it into the media, and another person takes that media and mixes it with other media and ties it together into a theme, thus creating an ever-expanding pool of online media that can draw from these clips. Now, what if you have a service? What if you have a product? What if you have a business? What if you have something you want to sell? And you want to commit 10% or more, or let's say 15% or more, of that product, service, item, etc., towards the nonprofit. It's simple. The sell, buy, trade, etc. gets listed by any member using the app. I've got a service, I've got a cabinet, I've got a laptop, etc. that I want to sell. 15% or more of the product, etc., will go to the nonprofit. So it works very similar, to Amazon in the sense that you list the product as clearly as you can. 1, you get a rating as a seller, etc. 2 or 3, you then the person puts the money into escrow in the nonprofit. Upon receipt of the device and confirmation of the service, etc., the money is released minus the 15%, thus allowing people to engage in another dynamic aspect that funnels money and energy towards the nonprofit, but also is a way to participate in the community. Creating good law and other useful templates. So a module that allows you to look at the best laws for cities and towns and countries around the world, and note what the law is and its benefits, and how to enact that law. And that is, a useful thing for bringing well-being to a town, to a city. Secondly, templates for a whole variety of things. Templates for campaigning with local and city governments. Templates for launching a press release about a charitable activity, so that when you're doing your projects on your own, you have a variety of resources created by other members, shared by other members, shared by other companies in exchange for advertising. For example, a legal template service might make its templates available specifically for these nonprofit projects with a logo on them for nonprofit use only, and in doing so, make their services available for profit work for the members that also may want to use those forms for profit projects. A module on skill building. So basically, by going to all the online schools that offer courses in a variety of different things and saying, we would like you to make these courses available as a nonprofit donation for those members who have contributed $100 or more, who have contributed more than 10 hours of their time in the last 12 months, etc., that anyone who contributes actively 10 hours or more, $100 or more per year, has access to development courses that are specifically designed to craft skills that make you useful in a variety of nonprofit projects. Similarly, mentoring in a community, that's one of the things that can be offered within the mentoring and skill building app, that one community member may offer to mentor by hosting an online course that is hosted in the app, where basically you get an alert, there's an online course, you show if you're interested or not, it shows up in your calendar, it sends you a reminder, it calls your phone on the time of the conference call, and you get to participate in an online learning experience that is donated by one member, that is received by other members in the nonprofit as a way of continually building skills within the community. Another part, of course, of this app is sharing this app infrastructure with the larger nonprofit community. Understanding that this type of technology is critical, is key in any nonprofit, sector organization. Making this app, this software, customizable and available to any nonprofit around the world, and in doing so, creating a win-win. Doing so, creating a win-win where the nonprofit is able to cut administration costs by 50 to 70%, is able to cut marketing costs by 50 to 80%, is able to cut accounting costs by 80, 90%, is able to do a whole variety of cost cutting within the nonprofit, and that perhaps a third of that savings is funneled back into the app to continually keep it up to date, so that the more nonprofits that come on and use the app, the better the app becomes and remains free to members. Another module within the app is sharing ideas. Creating an idea, listing what benefit that idea has, how high the return on investment is likely to be, and by those specifications of the idea. For example, if I have an idea that makes cataract surgery 70% cheaper and safer simultaneously. And I share an idea listing all the people in the world who have cataracts and how many people and how many millions can be saved. The app is going to elevate that as an important idea. But then the upvoting and downvoting in the community takes over from there, so that the very best ideas, the most intelligent ideas for delivering the most value with the least amount of energy and effort, naturally rise to the top and can be turned into projects and can be learned from and commented on, etc., by other members. The endlessly expandable feature of the app is one way to continually innovate, grow, and experiment, and also allow a wide range of diversity, so that as a user you can always try out different modules and test, and in that way keep the hedonic adaptation principle at bay, where there's something new to try and grow in your relationship with a nonprofit. These are some of the core ideas of an app that can transform the nonprofit sector by reducing costs by 90%, by increasing engagement by hundreds of percent, with engagement creating visceral mental emotional relationships, with engagement increasing commitment, with engagement increasing generosity, increasing personal growth. With the personal growth, of course, comes pride, gratitude, a sense of abundance, and greater ability to contribute. Because as you increase your skills and make more money in the workplace, one has more money to give. As one increases one's skills and donates those skills, one is more effective with the time one donates. Thanks for watching.